Alright, so today's experiment will be using 22 and 9mm. This is the Henry H001 lever action 22. I'm just using a high-powered pellet gun scope on it. It's a Gamma, but it's a pretty nice scope. And M19 carbine with a UUQ tactical 3.5 to 10x40 scope with a laser on it. It's pretty nice. So I'm going to sight these in to make sure that they're nice and on. I know that is not. I just mounted it. I didn't sight it in yet. It's probably close, but it's going to sight it in. We're going to try a little experiment with some Canadian ballistic gel, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. So let me sight these in, and we'll come back and do an experiment with these two things. Okay, here's some of our experiments right here. So here's our Canadian ballistics gel. When you fill up Canada Dry ginger ale cans with water, they have really good effects. You can drink the goodness first, please. That's sacrilege to just shoot a full can of Canada Dry. It's best ginger ale. Just saying. So I wanted to see hydrostatic effects, really, with it's already split open just from the ice force, and I didn't fill it up all the way. I was kind of hoping that wouldn't happen. However, interesting. Yeah, they're split. Oh no, okay, so it's kind of a one-off so far. Anyway, that was the point, to see liquid versus frozen water in those two states. What are the different effects with 22 and 9mm? Okay, so that's really where I'm going with this. And then these took actually a lot longer than this to freeze, which is kind of interesting. Maybe the type of plastic. But this is solid. I'm gonna shoot that. With 22, likely, first. I might hit that one with the 9mm, just to see the difference in energy and reaction. So these are frozen. I'm gonna fill up another bunch of cans with just water and see how much the hydrostatic effect is with maybe one, then 2 cans and 3 cans. We'll see if we can stop at 22. I doubt we'll stop at 9mm with 3 or 4 cans, but we'll see. And then we'll see what the effects are when it's frozen cans. It is a beautiful -15 day here, southwestern Ontario, in this particular day. It's chilly, but we can do this. All right, let's just do a little Canadian experiment, I guess, with Canadian ballistic gel. Okay, bye for now. Okay, first up, I know it's gonna go through at least 2 cans, so we're gonna do 22 long rifle. I think these are the Thunderbolts. They're 40 grain, about 1200. I think, is it 1200 or 1280? They're 40 grain going hyper velocity or whatever. So I just want to see what that does to 3 liquid cans first. Let's see. Slow-mo time. Alright, no match. There's that hydrostatic shock effect on all. Oh, there it is. And that one blew out too. So I'm gonna go right to 5 cans, and we'll see if a 22 can go right through 5 Canadian ballistic gel cells. Okay, be right back. So I started realizing the kind of effort it's actually taking to get these cans filled up and stuff. So I think it's time to basically Edwin Sarkisian this thing up. And now we've got the maximum amount of cans I have on this particular board. I think that's 9. Hey, let's really Edwin Sarkisian this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cans. So same ammunition. I'm gonna reach in my pocket here and grab one. I believe that's the Thunderbolt. It's a 40 grain, 1200 or 1280 feet per second. And we'll see if it will go through all of these in liquid form. So this is the liquid form of the Canadian ballistics gel cells. Let's see what happens. Slow mo. Alright, I think that's gonna save some time and effort here. Let me just try to lean this without getting it too beauty. Okay, let's see what happened. Oh goodness, eh? That really rips it a new one. So that was just the 22. So there was 3 before. 9, right? So out of 12 cans, definitely ripped new ones all along the way. So definitely made it through what would be 4. So I did 3 green, 1 red, 3 green, 1 red, and then there was 1 green at the back. Aha! Survivor. So it didn't make it back, and this one even barely dented. They all spilt their water. Let's see. Oh yeah. Shredded. Interesting. I think this one was here from before, but I can't remember. Well, this one still even has water in it. Not even sure where I'm pointing my phone at the moment, sorry. Oh, this one's got a shreddy tear in it. And those do not. So, out of these, let's try to reconstruct something. Let's say those 3 were the ones that were from before. It was green, 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 red, green, 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 there's a 3rd green, red, and then green. I would say it went through 6 cans. And it did start going through a little sideways out of some of these. So maybe it could have gone through more, but it started to definitely deflect within the 6 cans there. So that took 6 cans for a 22 at about 8 meters or something like that. I had to back up. This is on an angle, but anyway, that's pretty interesting. So let me line up 9 frozen cans and we'll see how many a 22 will go through frozen then. So if it took 6, and you can see where there is large amounts of energy dump all down to nearly no energy left, and it just pushed the rest off as it probably went off onto an angle, but it's really hard to tell. I don't have that technology yet, so maybe someday. But there you go, on to the ice. Okay, so moved the ones out of the way. No confusion. There's 5 of them here because one of them is pretty frozen to the table still, and it split open on the other side, so I didn't want to like cut my delicate computer fingers. So there are 5 very frozen cans of water, just water, and I'm gonna see if 22 will go through at least 5 cans. It, you know, 6 was with water, I mean just liquid water, and these are frozen, so I assume it's gonna go through less, but let's find out. Does it hydrostatic things when it's frozen? I don't get into that kind of physics very often, so I'm curious. Does the frozen expand and do as much damage to the cans? Does it do more? Does it turn ice into shrapnel and explode out? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, that's interesting. Let me put this back down again. It is in a safe state. So, obviously I didn't number these or anything. I didn't feel that there would be a need to. But it definitely kind of had a static shock kind of effect, but I think that's just because, I mean, there's just no room for it to go anywhere. However, it deflected off much faster than on the left side. Woo! I'm gonna cut my fingers. Alright. I think it went in the left side and kind of ripped it out. So it deflected through 2 of them, and these would be okay, I would expect. Let me just pick these up real quick here. Now, some of these have a rip in them because the ice just expanded inside, but they're not. They're basically unharmed from the experiment. They are in the state that they were in. So 2 filled with ice was enough to deflect the bullet. I think I still have some time. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line up 9 of them with... Man, that camera just loves interrupting me. So I'm going to line up 9 of them with water for the 9mm. Let's see what a 9mm will do, if it will go through all 9 of them. And I'll try to do the same again where I had a couple of red markers in there. And then we'll do... I have 6 frozen ones again, plus those other 3 containers. So we'll blast those with a 9mm too. So stay tuned. Let's see what 9mm. And that is working smarter, not harder, I think. Okay, let me set this up. All right. So I don't know when the sun's actually going to go down, but it can't be much longer. You know, it's only 2 in the afternoon, but you never know. It gets dark at 4, I don't know. Anyway, there's 9 cans. I did the, the old 1, 2, 3 red, 1, 2, 3 red, and then I put a Barks root beer at the back, just to be sure. So if we see the Barks root beer one destroyed, then instantly we know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Canadian ballistic gel cells aka Canada Dry cans filled with water, you know, wouldn't stop a 9mm. We could go further later if that's the case. And I also have, you know, a bigger caliber that we could, you know, really extend this out if we want to. Not today maybe, but another time for sure. It's still very cold today. It's sunny, but again, it's minus 15 degrees Celsius, so I do want to get this done. Okay. Go Canada. And goodbye. I mean, slow-mo. Quite a bit different story there. See, this guy's still kind of leaking it out a little bit. Let's go over here first, where some of these just jumped from all the energy dump. That was, I'm sorry, that was 115 grain full metal jacket, Barnaul brand, I believe. Sale. So, these unharmed, actually. Unharmed. Huh. Unharmed. A red one was unharmed. And definitely the barks. So I'm surprised. And I wonder if the bullet deflected as the other ones were getting out of the way, because it still looks like it's dumping a lot of energy into that last red one there. These were fairly lined up. There's that camera again. I got my shadow in the way. Well, I mean, we can revisit that. Let me just shoot this little line up here. And you know what? For giggles, these are 3 that were left over from the 22. So let me put 3 of them back here. I'll shoot low this time. It'll go through water, and then there's 3 ice at the back. How's that? Something a little bit different. 115 grain, 9mm. Let's see what happens. I got a little bit unlucky there on that one. My shadow triggered the slow-mo on my phone, but that camera should have got some slow-mo, so I'll show that. But here is the low-hanging carnage of what I just did. You know, again, shooting low was the idea there, of course. And I did. And it definitely went through wherever the barks was sitting. It did graze through the bottom of some ice-filled can. Yep, it also trimmed the bottom of that one off too. All in all, it's still intact, but it just hit the bottom edges as it probably jumped in the air. And I think the same for the third over here. Oh, it blew out the bottom. So is there another ice-filled one somewhere? Yep, underneath. Oh, look at that, just hit one time. It still looked like it was trucking, I think, though. Ooh, I actually think that's a new mark. Isn't that funny? Didn't even dent the wood. You can't feel it. You can only see it. Weird. Okay, that's too bad I didn't get a slow-mo from my phone, but again, I should get some from the camera that keeps beeping every time I talk. Okay, 6 ice ones, and then I'm done being cold for a day. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so here's a slight problem. The side that I kept checking wasn't cracked, but all these cans are actually cracked and fairly empty. Darn it. I didn't realize it's a fine hairline crack, but when you look at it, now I didn't fill all these up and they're open, but I guess ice will only go so high before it really freezes and then starts pushing out, apparently. Good to know. And as you can tell, it didn't destroy these because I did not fill them all the way to the top. I filled them somewhere down here, so it expanded all the way up into the lid. And you know, that's how water works, we know that. These weren't full, and in fact there's room to spare. It's hollow at the top. So anyway, a lot of these cans are actually pretty empty. There's some in the bottom, but like this one's pretty good. So I'm gonna use the 3 from just now, that one. They're all empty. I gotta use these, I guess. So let me see if it'll rip through 4 cans, and then maybe I'll just shoot these separately just for some extra effect. I'll shoot them on the end or something, just to see if a 9mm will go through solid ice that way. I don't know. Not totally to plan, but let's shoot stuff anyway. I just wanted to stretch the old carbine's legs there, so let's hit this and hit these things separately, those and these bigger things. See what 9mm does to that stuff. Alrighty, here we go. Slow mo. So the ice-filled cans don't seem to explode up as much as they do out. Water definitely spouts out the top and all sorts of stuff. So that's, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, it still destroys the can in a very fierce way. It goes right through all that solid ice. Oh, was it a grazing? Interesting. So that's still solid. Maybe we'll keep that. This has been split more. I don't know where it went. Maybe just being hit more? Split more? There was more. Oh my goodness, okay. Yeah. It knocked the ice right out of that one. Cool. Okay. A couple more shots just to see if we can get some more slow-mo going, that's all. I'll back up my phone just a little bit to widen that angle a little, but let's just do a couple more shots. That camera! Oh, here we go.
You got to pick up every stick.
Okay, quick carnage check. I would have shown you the first 2 cans. So that would have been the first one, and then the second one. Excuse me. This was the first bottle on the side, and I got it through the top. It went through the ice inside, shattering the crystal clear water that was in there frozen, and came scooting out the top. Sorry, this way. So it went in, boink! Sound effects. Okay, same basic thing here, only it turned the ice into powder inside, but it went right in the middle, right where I was aiming. Well, sorry, just high of it, but it was right where I was aiming. And it went in and scooted out again. It's probably the bottom of it from the way that I was probably holding and aiming, but anyway, it made it most of the way through without deviating too far. And then same with this, for sure this is the bottom side. I hit the bottom of it and it went through the bottom of it, so it's still very that camera, I keep forgetting. It's still very much frozen. You can see it's broken inside now. I'm just gonna stand it up and just shoot it right in boosh, your mouthwash. I'm gonna hit it right in the SH part somewhere there and see what will happen to it. Final shot, just while I'm out here. And yeah, so this is how I tell it's scooting out the bottom. It is hitting the boards. So anyway, okay. That was pretty cool. Well, there it is. I guess we get what we get. We'll see what slow-mo worked, what didn't. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you again. Bye for now.